Well. Today is the day. The PlayStation 5 event is here. Sony's going to come out and talk about the PlayStation 5. We're going to get games. We're going to get specs. We're going to get UI. Is what I would have said had I actually recorded the reaction when I watched it. But I had a myriad of technical issues trying to record the original reaction. So I had to scrap the whole thing. But I still wanted to react to it. So I'm going to be doing a GWC rewatches. I'm going to be rewatching the entire PlayStation 5 stream. Now, this is going to be kind of a full watch because I had so many technical issues throughout the entire watching the stream where I had to watch it at like 360p. At one point, I had to go down to like 120. It was bad. So there's a lot of things I didn't get to see in the clarity it needs. And I completely missed the Miles trailer because Twitch decided to just buffer on me. And it didn't come back until after the trailer was done. So I decided to wait until I was going to record this to watch it. So we are here right now. We're at 59:02. So let's hit play. It's about to go under what? Wait, did I start it late? Oh, wait, I started at the wrong time. Hold on. All right, here we go. May contain content inappropriate for children. And then there they go again with the same message. Just in case these mothers are watching here. So if you're watching this right now, just know that I know all of the announcements. I know all the stuff. But now this is kind of a second watch. So I'm going to try and give like my thoughts of what I thought at the time and like kind of what I've deduced the second time through. Because definitely a lot of these trailers I didn't get to really fully immerse and watch. So now I can watch it. And this is a clean rip too. This is straight from YouTube. So this is a 1080p rip. So this thing is already looking clean. Like these X's didn't look like that. Like there is, guy, you should have seen what it looked like. It looked rough. Here actually, in editing, I'm gonna make it look like what it looked like on my end. So right now, that's what my brain remembers it looking like. Artist description may not be 100%. And they got me there. I was already excited. I was like, all right, 94. Got the original PlayStation.
No. I like the hand we've been dealt.
It's like, ooh, God of War 3. Wipeout. MLB. Also, I was mostly excited when they showed Knack. I was like, hey, they showed Knack. I was like, they realized that series actually exists. And I look at this thing and I was thinking to myself, I was like, damn, PS4 had a pretty strong, was a pretty strong console. And we're not done yet. Like, Ghost of Tsushima's not out. Last of Us Part 2 isn't even out yet. But even then, it's just an extremely consistent lineup from 2013 to now. Like, every year, for the most part, has had a consistent game that's been fantastic.
Why did I move here?
Oh, yeah. There's this announcement, which I was just so bewildered. Like, before the stream happened, I put some predictions I had in place. And my prediction was Red Dead Redemption 2 was a port of that game. But when I saw GTA 5, I was like, oh. Which, GTA 5 is a good game. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed that game. But I was like, Rockstar, you really could have gone with Red Dead 2. That would have been more of the big graphical powerhouse to show off. But really, their main reason to keeping this on PS5 is money. They know they're gonna make money on those shark cards. So if like they keep it on another system, then it's there. Now, am I gonna get it? No, I have 2 copies of this game. Like, do I need a third? Like, even when I did get 5 on the PS4, I never finished the story mode. I got like halfway through and I stopped. So if I get it on 5, it'll probably be the same thing.
Trace back to me.
Champagne, anyone?
I know some people were like, man, I wonder, I'm surprised they didn't. So GTA 6, it's like, we're not going to see that game for probably 5 years. Honestly, from like the rumors and leaks I've been hearing, it seems like the next Rockstar game might be Bully 2, which, I'm hoping. I'm really hoping. And it's like, oh, PS5 owners get GTA Online free at launch. It's like, better. GTA 5 PS4 owners get, drumroll please, 1 million in GTA cash every month, which honestly is not a lot of money in GTA 5. Like 1 million cannot get you anything. So then being like you get 1 million, it's like that's not really a lot. Because I see some of those vehicles there costing like 40 million. So it's like unless you have been playing GTA 5 since 2013. It's probably not going to be too easy getting in now. But I'm sure for those who play GTA 5, that was probably a cool announcement.
To kick today off with a look back at just some of the seminal moments of the last 25 years. And what better way to bridge our past and our future than
hey, it's Jim Ryan, the guy who said that no one cares about PlayStation 1 and trying to go play those old games.
For many years now.
That's why when it was like Jim Ryan's the new head of Sony, I was like, ugh. Like after that comment, I was like, ooh, that maybe wasn't the best thing to say. Especially like this backwards compatibility stuff. Like I'll talk about that later on, but like, I'm hoping Sony says something because there's still more they haven't said about the system. I'm hoping that it's not just PS4. But if it isn't, that's the person who you need to be putting probably the blame to. It's probably him. Because I remember that comment he made.
Enough from me. We're going to have the games do our talking.
And honestly, that was the best thing he said. Let the games do the talking. Like, we don't need any of this, well, you know, this game is quite great. It was like, not just let the games speak for themselves. And now here's a trailer for Miles, which I didn't get to see. So this is going to be like raw live reaction. And it's kind of spoiled for me too because like my stream was delayed. And someone already yelled what it is. It's like, great. All right, here we go. Probably going to be quiet the whole thing.
Okay, let's do this.
Got the invisibility. Damn, that looks good. that looked really good. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, capture on PS5. And I love Holiday 2020. Like that's probably gonna be either a launch title or it's gonna be like the month after. So I'm all there. Look at this polyphony. It's been a bit since we've seen them. I remember this announcement too. People were like, wait, they're still making these games? But I was like, yeah, they still are. And honestly, they're still really good. They're really just for a specific type of racing fan. Like for me, like I come from the Burnout and like the arcadey racers. So for me, Gran Turismo was like this huge step up where it was like, this is the big boys racing game. Like you got to be good to play this game. And they can be pretty fun. But it makes sense that they would have a Gran Turismo game because these games are always like big graphical powerhouses. Like go back and look at the older Gran Turismo games back on like PS2 and the one on PlayStation 1. Like for the time, it's like they looked really good. But honestly, racing games always look good. Like they just put all that detail in those cars and like it just looks smooth. Gran Turismo's back. So yeah, they ain't showing gameplay, but it just from the little bits, it's like, hey, you know what? It looked good. Now I was kind of hoping, like, man, can we get a Ridge Racer so I can like have my Vita in front of me so I can have that as my backwards mirror, but that didn't happen. And Gran Turismo 7. Now, hopefully it comes out relatively soon, or at least within the next year or two. I forgot if they did say a release window on this one, because I know the last few Gran Turismo games had pretty long developments. Yeah, they did show gameplay. See, I was changing streams so much, I missed a lot of this. So, yeah, dang, this looks good. I don't know if it like looks like the last one, but it's like that last one looked good. So it's not really like they improved a little, like they hit it up an extra notch, but it's like you can't really make these games look bad. Like it's hard to make a racing game look bad. But I don't know. We'll see when that Fast and the Furious game comes out. I think it comes out this month or next month. We'll see with that one. That might be it. That might be the one that looks bad. Is that's the thing is I would always look at people play Gran Turismo games, and they always make it like they're moving all easy and doing that. And then I play it, and like the car would already be off to the side. At least when I played those first few ones, I eventually got a bit better, but it took a while. PlayStation Studios. And this reveal too. This was another really good one. I was thinking about it too, because I was thinking about a few weeks ago about Ratchet and Clank. It's like, you know, it's been a bit since that last one from the movie tie-in, and that game was fantastic. Like, if you've never played that game, I highly recommend going and getting it. It was actually a really just compact and just tight Ratchet and Clank game.
Get to right, the ship. I mean, we can't be that far.
And they're still keeping it in the same like art style range as the one on PS4 with the movie title one. And this thing looks crazy. This is when I realized, all right, this is the cool stuff with PS5. Is when he's transitioning to these worlds, there's like no loads. Like that's what that SSD is gonna bring to this. Like boom, he's already here. There's maybe like a 1 second load, but everything's already there. Like when I saw that on Twitter, I was like, oh, like I can't wait to see like the big games that utilize it like that. But I was like, even from like the little bits I saw, I was like I'm sold. It's like, it's a Ratchet and Clank game. It was already sold when I saw Ratchet and Clank. Got like the particle effects, like everything just looks so smooth. Yeah, I am excited for this game. This is a day zero buy.
Ratchet. We are too late. Ratchet.
And of course, David K. and James Arnold Taylor. You can't have a Ratchet game without them. I see now you have the female Wombats over there too, which definitely was a rift apart in Twitter because I saw some things I wish I didn't see.
The entire
Insomniac,
team is so excited to be able to share with you a
the
first ever look
heroes.
at Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, a brand new, full-length, interdimensional adventure built from the ground up for the PlayStation 5. We're doing things we've never been able to do before, like use dimensional rifts to be able to leap from planet to planet nearly instantly, or put ray trace reflections on Clank. All of our alien worlds are filled with density and life previously unseen. Plus, Ratchet's all-new arsenal is more exciting than ever thanks to the DualSense controller's enhanced feedback. Ratchet and Clank are near.
I just want to get my hands on that controller.
We can't wait to share more with you in the future.
It's like
Now,
it feels like a
look.
bulkier PS4 controller, but like I don't know. I want to try those. I just want to see how it feels. I feel like it feels good. Like it just will naturally feel right in my hand. God, it looks so cool.
It's Ratchet and Clank.
Sand sharks from above.
Nice sand shark! Nice sand shark! My heroes!
Was that a kraken? Or at least a very large octopus. I will never get used to that. Hey, break reality.
Yeah, this game's a no-brainer. Like, at this point, when I started watching this, I was like, all right, Sony is getting some heavy hitters. 'Cause I was like, oh wait, Spider-Man, that's really good. Ratchet and Clank, all right, that's really good. So, right this second, this was easily in a 7 range. It's like it was a 7 and could get higher. Honestly, they had me with a PS5 the second I saw that Spider-Man. I heard a thing of Spider-Man. I was like, all right, I'm sold. The Spider-Man on PS4 was fantastic, so it's like I want to play more of that game. I didn't realize they showed this much gameplay. God, the website I was using to watch this really screwed everything up. I missed all of that. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, captured on PS5. Looks really good. Nice little transitions. Also, I really liked the way this thing was presented. It was presented really well. Honestly, even the Microsoft one was too. But like, I just like that. It's just like snappy, just game, a talking head, game, and so on. It works really well. And this is that's the new Square Enix IP. Forgot what it was called. Devotions will be doubt. She will rise. But I don't know when this game is, but there's a certain game here that is a day -1. Well, there's a game here that's a day -5 purchase. But there's one game here. It's a brand new IP. I don't know when it is, when it's going to show up on here, but this game looked crazy, and I was watching it in standard definition. If I remember the name, I think it was Kina, but that game looked amazing. But I don't remember when it is. I remember it was early, but I'm excited to see that one again. Oh yeah, this was the Annapurna. This was the cat game, I believe, with the robots. It's one of those things like I definitely have to see when actual like footage comes, but from like the group I was watching it, like we could take away is that you play as a cat. I was like, you know what? I'm fine with that. Like I was getting excited last year at E3 for a game where you just play as 2 deer. So a game where you just play as a cat. It's like, no, I'm fine with that. Pretty well defined cat too. Stray. That's definitely one on the check out later category of just saying in 2021. And that's the thing I'll mention a little later on, but their release window on these games are turning out pretty well. Like there's going to be a bunch of stuff come launch and that first few months. So I'll definitely get into that near the end of this thing where I'll go fully in depth on some of the stuff. 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, which finally it has. It took a long time. Ultra high speed SSD, really good. Ray tracing, all right. Give me that good lighting. There's that controller. Haptic feedback. The only thing with it, and I'll get to it when they reveal the console, is I just wish there was I wish they had the black version. They show they do have it, but that's the black version of the DualSense looks really good. The mock-up I've seen. Some people haven't really been talking about that 3D audio, but if it's anything like PSVR 3D audio, then I'm playing every single game with headphones because the 3D audio in PSVR is game changing. And having that kind of audio just in standard is gonna be sick if it's if it exactly is how it is. Because I know the processor box for PSVR is built into the 5. So I no longer have to deal with this like box down here for my VR.
Create gameplay that I think will truly captivate the player and really
and Herman Hulst.
Please take a look at this new franchise.
Dude made some good games
exclusively for PlayStation 5.
PlayStation Studios. House Marquee. Now this is one where when I first saw the name, I was really pumped. I was like, House Marquee is a studio that has done no wrong. We need to start listing off their games. Nex Machina, Resogun, Super Stardust HD, Dead Nation. They've released a hit on every single PlayStation platform. And with this, I was like, you know what? House Marquee is a really good studio. But I kind of wasn't feeling the gameplay on this a little bit. When you do show the gameplay, like when they do show it, it's more of a third-person shooter. And maybe there's going to be some different thing to it. But I don't know. Like from what I can get, maybe is that each time you play, it's like a different experience. So maybe it's more that you need to see gameplay. But compared to the other ones, it's definitely kind of stands out when you look at like the House Marquee lineup of games.
But I cannot lose hope.
It's like right here. When I saw this out, I kind of lost a little bit of that hype. Just because I've played this type of game so many times. But maybe there's more to this game. Like I am basing it off of just the trailer and little bits of gameplay. I like to at least see more, at least see some more gameplay. Returnal. So I don't know. I feel like we've got some time on that game. Because they didn't give a release window, so that's probably a 2021 or so. PlayStation Studios. Sumo Digital. Oh yeah, this is the Sackboy Adventure. Which at first I was like, what is this? I was trying to think of like 100 different things of what it could possibly be. And I was like, oh, it's Sackboy. Once I got there, I was like, oh wait, Sackboy. So I was like, hey, I'm pretty happy to see Sackboy back. After Little Big Planet 3, I was like, Sackboy needs some kind of redemption. And honestly, this game looks pretty good. It kind of reminds me of a Super Mario 3D World type of game. And it also reminds me of Astrobot on PSVR, which, if you have a PSVR, that's one of the best games on that thing. Astrobot is a straight up just really good platformer. I was like, hey, this looks pretty fun. It looks like a pretty fun little game, and it's got 4-player co-op, so it's one I probably will pick up to play with some people. I know Media Molecule is still working on Dreams. Even though Dreams came out, it actually is getting a PS5 release, and they're going to still be working on that game for a few years, just due to how expansive that thing is. So honestly, having Sumo Digital, which did take over for Little Big Planet with 3, it makes sense that they would still continue the license with Little Big Planet games. But I do like this because it's something a little different, though. At least with the title. It's probably not going to be everybody's piece of cake, but I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty fun. PlayStation Studios. Oh yeah, in this game. This kind of reminded me of a Twisted Metal Rocket League hybrid. Although you have the thing where you're like getting out of the cars and you're like kind of fighting people. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Like, I don't know how much this game is going to be. If this is like a full $60 release, maybe not. But if this is like a little budget title, it looks pretty good for that. Like, what I can mostly get is like as your car gets demolished, you fly out of it. Maybe you have to go find another vehicle or steal somebody's vehicle. Or at least that's what I'm kind of getting from it. Or that once your vehicle's destroyed, then you have to get everybody else's on foot. Which might be a pretty interesting little concept. These kind of games are always pretty good. Like Twisted Metal was a great series. I don't think we're gonna see another one of those games for a while, though. Just due in fact how that last one turned out. And I believe David Jaffe still has the rights to the series, so it probably won't be. And even then, he's probably far away from trying to make a Twisted Metal game these days.
Hello everyone, my name is Josh Greer, and this is my brother Mike.
Josh
We're from
Greer,
Ember Lab,
Mike
a small
Greer.
team with a background in film and animation.
And we're very excited today to share with you the first look at our new game. It's a story full of adventure and charm that has themes in personal growth and redemption. So please enjoy.
I think this is Kena. I think this is that game I was talking about earlier. This, I think this is probably the most impressive game I've seen on the entire event. This is a game that feels like a PS5 game. And I just love the art style of this game. It has this it looks like it looks so much like a movie, and it's like, oh, it's still a cinematic. Then you start seeing stuff that's gameplay, and then you're kind of blown away. Like, that's how I was. And like I said, I was watching it in standard, and it looked that good. Like, that's a movie right there. That's not a game. That's something I see in theaters. It looks so good.
You have no power here, Kana.
You start seeing gameplay. It's like, it looks good. I'm honestly pretty pumped for this game. Okay, now watching it, there definitely is like some differences between like the cinematics and the gameplay, but even then, it's still really good. Like the lighting, the little particles. Yeah. Kana Bridge of Spirits, yeah. Give the claps to that one. That one looks great. That was the one that definitely, in terms of the IPs, I left this event saying like that's the one I remember the most. Well, there were a few new IPs in this event where I was like, hey, that's pretty sick. Where I'm like, all right, I'm about to keep my eye on that one. Like, I didn't even see this one because I having stream issues.
To do that thing you've always meant to do.
Wait. Let me turn this
Sometimes I
off.
feel like I'm just
Keeps
standing on
going
the edge
off on
of
this
doing
stream.
great things. But something's holding me back. Maybe it's just nerves. Maybe it's the fear that I'll never be as good as what I imagine when I'm still just standing on the edge. But if we've got nothing else to lose,
Standing on the edge.
might as well jump.
Goodbye, Volcano High. Hopefully the stuttering is a video thing and not on my end. Goodbye, Volcano High. And it's probably the thing because looks like the game's dinosaurs. It's probably going to be the asteroid hitting Earth. Like someone brought that up in the group call. I was like, no, that's probably what's going to be. And that cover there, that Final Fantasy VII meteor definitely is pointing towards that too.
A game that I've been dying to make.
And Lorne Lanning, a legend.
Engaging story where rescuing is
I was so pumped for this. Like anytime there's a new Oddworld game, I'm just like yes, please. And it looks like this is also gonna be doing some pretty cool stuff. It's still retaining a lot of the stuff from like the first few Oddworlds. But looks like it's doing some cool things. I still stand by that Oddworld Stranger's Wrath is the best game in that series. That game is so good. See, at this point, I was like, damn, this thing's an 8. This event is an 8. And Sony's just coming out with some hits right here. Like they were getting me. Hey, language. Didn't you watch the beginning of the stream? I love that walk cycle. The walk cycle's always been great in these games.
You must find your full voice.
Oddworld, Soulstorm. I bet Lorne Lanning is still making these games. Like some developers kind of like stop halfway, but I love that he's still going. Speaking of another legend, Shinji Mikami. And finally got to see gameplay of this game because like they showed it off at Bethesda last year, and I was like, hey, that game looks pretty sick. It was on my, I forgot where I put it in my best of E3 list, but Ghostwire Tokyo, I was like, hey, that's a cool little concept. Like I like Shinji Mikami. I want to see what new stuff he's got going on after Evil Within. And the teaser had some stuff. I was like, you know what? All right, you got me intrigued. Tokyo, Japan.
You see things others can't. Hear threats others don't. Fight.
I was like, definitely got that Shinji Mikami touch to it in this. It's got the weird, creepy visuals. And
it's up to you to save Tokyo.
It's like, all right, I'm down to see where this game goes. Bioshock, got your little like frost hand, fire hands. Like that stuff looks pretty cool, like with that little like fist combat there. That's the thing that really looks interesting. But also just like the atmosphere of the game and like the kind of creepier elements of it also look really good too. Ghostwire Tokyo, and next year. And back to the little X's and triangles and signs. Yeah, was this that? Which game was this again? Was this that space game? Kind of forgot. That Year Zero game. Super Brothers. Ripping off Neon Genesis right there. Those hands. Yeah, it is. This is that the Year Zero game. I remember because when I was watching it on my phone, I was like, God dang, this text is so small. Like when it gets to like the Year Zero, it's like I can't read that. I need glasses. Look how small that is, and they use the worst font too. It's like year. Like it's that cinematic font, but it's like I could barely read that. And honestly, with watching this teaser, I still don't know what this game is. I have no clue what you like. You fly around and explore the world or worlds. Like I really don't know. Jet, the Far Shore. Like, that was the thing watching. I was like, man, it's a little. Like, all right, I'll get to see more. It's a little out there. Holiday 2020. Back to the little transitions again. Oh, yeah, and this is that game, I think Godfall, which was they showed this off back in like the Game Awards last year. I don't think that doesn't look too bad. I think it looks pretty decent. Although honestly, that some of that stuff kind of became like, and it's like unlock godlike armor. Like that's what you're selling the game. Is you can unlock armor in the game. Like that's not a good selling point. That's like saying, it's got options. You can load your game and continue. Holiday 2020. That's definitely like right there, probably a good $40, $30 game. Although watch it, you know, I did see Gearbox, so watch it come out be 60. Or it's gonna be free to play and have some garbage in there. Oh, there's another one that looked really good. The art style in this game looks amazing. This is another one of the IPs that also was in my mind next to Kena. But I always like to gravitate towards like the games with like the really stylized art direction to them. And also, it really reminded me of the game Fury a lot too, and just the look of it. Boom, there goes gameplay. Look how fast this bird starts zooming. Boom. And then does this cool little effect. Does the Majora's Mask effect, like when Link's walking through into Clocktown for the first time. Solar Ash. $2021. And Hitman, this is another announcement. I was like, ooh, I wasn't expecting this. I was like, IO's back. And I really love that it's a straight up Hitman 3, because when I saw the little images there, I was like, oh, is it gonna be Hitman like 2 just ported over? But I was pleasantly surprised to see that it's straight up Hitman 3. And when they do show footage, I was like, hey, it looks good. Honestly, just more Hitman is well enough for me. Then they had to make me sad by saying it's the final part of the trilogy. It's like, don't say that. It's like, I don't want it to end. Like, these new Hitman games have been like, fantastic. Death Awaits, January 2021. And this was the stuff I was really talking about earlier. I was really getting excited is that look at already, like January next year is going to be insane.
In Hitman 3,
like they are fixing a lot of stuff compared to when the PS4 launched. And God, the PS3 too. Like I said, I'll get back to that when we get to the end of this thing.
Trilogy. I'm so proud to be here to present a little glimpse.
Yeah, see that part
of the
there with the
gameplay
end of the
where
trilogy for the World of
1847 is on
Assassination.
top
I
of
was
the
like,
world in Dubai. Enjoy.
that's the worst way to assassinate. You got to get the colorful mascot outfit and then walk into like the huge meeting room like that. That's the real way to play Hitman. Get your assassination in the worst outfit ever. Oh yeah, and this too. This was also one of my predictions that we were going to see some form of the UI. Even though we don't see it fully, we see this. So it kind of at least gives a little taste of that menu. And a little note too. We hear a little boom. So that's definitely going to be a later one. And here's the Astrobot game, which after this came out, they came out and said that it's going to be available on PS5 for everybody as like a thing to try out DualSense and get a feel for it. I guess it's going to utilize like a lot of the stuff with it. So it's going to be it's going to be on every PS5. Which I was like, you know, I'm cool to see more Astro, but I was a bit sad that it wasn't VR. Because like I said, Astrobot Rescue is one of the best VR games. And it's so good that it kind of sucks that it's just like a 2D version. Because that game did a lot of really cool things in VR in the way it utilized it. Oh yeah, this game. With like the weird faces. That shot right there looks really good. Like graphically, like it looks pretty good. It's got a pretty cool little art style to it. Like it has like that side of realistic, but then it has that kind of cartoon aesthetic as well with the characters and creatures that I'm kind of for with it. Schmeat. And I take that as like the one rubber duck thing that's in this conference, because it's a tradition with PlayStation that they always have a rubber duck and something when they're showing off the system. And stupid little. Little devil. Little devil inside. Sorry, I couldn't read it. All that text was so small. I was like, I don't need the PS5. I need a vision test more than anything.
What's up, everyone? I'm Zion Williamson of the New Orleans Pelicans.
It's the NBA 2K21.
NBA 2K21. Y'all are not ready for this.
You know, maybe it's a good thing that old version didn't happen, because I said something during this that was very questionable. So I'm like, whew, I'm happy that's not being heard. Remember on PS3 when that came out, the sweat is more realistic. Making me thirsty right now. That sweat. Wait, let me not say that. Let me take that back. Hold on. But honestly, when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's going back to 06. I remember when they're showing NBA Live 06, they were stressing a lot about the sweat tech and how you're going to see the characters sweat. And I was like, is this really what we wanted? I will say, though, it looks just like him. It looks really good. But I don't know if I really need to see that much sweat. It's like, it's getting too detailed now. Fall 2020. Of course, it's going to be on PS4 and Xbox One and all the current systems. But it'll probably be a launch title, too, for those who want it there. It's like, well, what do you get if you get it on PS4? Well, you don't get the sweat tech, but you do get a basketball game. And it's like, I want the sweat tech. Oh, yeah, and here's that food and vegetable game. I kind of like, you know what, this looks all right. It's like a pretty cool little game.
Aren't they? Half bug, half snack. A very recently discovered species.
A little walking burger over there.
To this island. Oh, this one's lively. Beautiful seed patterns. Oh, and it's tasty too. Welcome to the island of bug snacks.
Yeah, Bug Snacks. And it's from the creator of Octodad. Which, coming from the creator of Octodad, this makes a lot of sense. That it would be like this. It looks like your character, whatever he eats, he can manifest into. Which is a pretty cool little concept. Like, might probably do some pretty cool little stuff with it. Yeah, this is a pretty little cute game.
My invitation is open. Come join me on the island of bug snacks.
Liz! Hey, I was trying to carry a lamp with my weenie hands, but I dropped it, and now the town's on fire.
Oh, again?
Weenie hands. Ugh. Ice cream snail. Holiday 2020. Be funny if the only launch title for PS5 was Bug Snacks. It's like you see a dude walk to the counter. Oh yeah, I want Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty, a Bug Snacks. Yeah, Bug Snacks. It's the only launch exclusive title. It's like when PS4 came out, there were only like 2 games that were exclusive. There was Knack and there was Killzone. And I was dumb and got Killzone. I was like, well, I'm gonna get a shooter started off when it's like, I should have been smart and got Knack, because Knack's a way better game than Killzone. And I was like, Shuhei Yoshida.
I have something
it's always great to see this guy.
Dear to me.
PlayStation Studios. Oh yeah, I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe this is the Demon Souls remake, which I was blown away at the fact that we are getting a remake of Demon Souls. I was like, Demon Souls was I was just really happy to see Demon Souls. and like a new audience can play it because of course Demon Souls is stuck on PS3. The servers are long gone now. And honestly, Demon Souls is still a great game. I know a lot of people started with Dark Souls and they don't really know too much about Demon Souls. So I'm like, hey, you know, that it's going to be played by a new audience. Like, I'm all for. And I'm kind of curious what stuff they're going to keep and what stuff they might possibly change. Honestly, the thing that got me the most excited was that, man, the possibility of a From Software title. Even though it's not From Software making it, it's Blue Point, which this is the game that they've been working on because they've been kind of talking a bit about something they've been working on. But the possibility of Demon Souls playing at 60 frames is just, oh,
Deathloop is a next-gen first-person shooter
I'm there.
about rival assassins locked in the
Oh yeah, and Deathloop, which was another game I was really pumped about at the Bethesda show last year. But they didn't actually show footage of that game. They only showed a cinematic cutscene.
Want to see some stylish action?
Which it had me interested, but seeing this here, I was like, okay, now I actually can see footage of it. It looks pretty good. I don't remember what Arcane made. Okay, it was Prey. I was like, what did they make Prey? And they also did Dishonored too. Dishonored 1 and 2, sorry. I said it earlier when I was in the group. I was like, oh yeah, they made Prey, but I was like, did they? I was like, okay, they did. God, the aim's all perfect in these demos. We already know. Start seeing people play this, it's gonna be, ain't gonna be like that.
Good morning, Black Reef.
Get Polygon playing it. They're gonna be missing all those shots.
For everyone else on this island, this place is paradise. A never-ending party where hunting me is the main attraction. And no matter how I try to escape, they always cut me down. But I'm one stubborn motherfucker.
Stubborn motherfucker. Well, they look like it's a pretty fun little first-person shooter. Like, it looks like it's pretty active. It's got those little like movement moves with moving them. And it's my favorite type of game. Eight or so many numbered people, and you got to take them down. It's got like that No More Heroes type thing where it's like, all right, I got these people, I got to assassinate. Here we go.
Black Reef's protector and a real pain in my ass. She may kill me 1,000,000 times, but eventually, inevitably, I will break this fucking loop.
This is Deathloop. Yeah, this honestly looks really sick. And seeing it again, I'm like, yeah, this still looks great. Like back then, I was like, no, looks like it's probably gonna be a pretty cool little concept. But now that I see the gameplay, I'm like, I'm all in on Deathloop. I can't help myself when it comes to these like kind of shooters. Like, give me kind of like something with it than just straight shooting. Like I like that movement to it. I think they said there was like a co-op thing to it where it's like another player would be trying to like find the other one, but I can't remember. So Don't take the info and be like, oh yeah, it's got co-op. It's like, I don't, because I don't remember. His story comes to a close.
A young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work.
Oh yeah, it's this one. Oh, I'm watching this in full. I'm not gonna say anything until the end.
Cold silence. The bush is empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free of Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine, under branch, and into the forest deep.
What is it with that creepy story?
It's just a local tale.
You're really into that stuff?
Quit being so paranoid.
No! Friendly! Friendly! Who are you? Who sent you? What's going on? They're coming. Who is?
Yeah, I guess I will say what it is. It is Resident Evil 8 Village. So, which actually got leaked a few months ago. They said there was like a big leak that was talking about this game. And thankfully, it actually was true. Because honestly, this looks sick. This looks really good. But the things I read, because I went back and kind of read some things about that leak. There's some stuff in this game that's going to be... And I mean that in a good way. Don't think that, like, I'm doing it like bad. This game's going to get me. Especially if this game's got VR. Oh, yeah. It's like Chris Redfield, they actually changed his look. He doesn't look as weird as he did in 7. But no, some of the stuff I read on the leak about like gameplay stuff, woo, it's gonna be crazy. Especially if they have that 3D audio and it's like PSVR. Oh, I'm not ready. Because I can barely get through 7. So the thought of playing 8 is just terrifying. And I do love the one thing I will say, because there is a video from Capcom producer of Village talking about it. They are bringing back the item system similar to 4, where you got to play inventory Tetris, and where you have your ammo and your guns, and you have to really be strategic and kind of what you want to take out with you, and so on and so forth, which I'm all for. And I guess I'll say the same joke I made when I watched it. New York City, 2 weeks ago. When you want to go out and get some eggs. Well, damn, if I was smart, I would have had that kind of get up for the quarantine. Like, I was just walking outside with a mask on. It's like, I should have been walking out like this dude, walking out like Ludens from Death Stranding. Honestly, for 1 second, I was like, dang, he's got the spacesuit on. He's got that little tracking thing in the back. It's like somebody played Death Stranding. Pragmata. Can't really say much about it since don't really see gameplay.
Freedom. Our freedom.
God, it keeps lagging on here. Hopefully it's not like that if you're watching it. Coming 2022, so we got a while for that one. They didn't even show gameplay. PlayStation Studios. Sony Interactive Entertainment presents. Oh yeah, I believe I remember that. If I remember correctly, I believe this is Horizon Zero Dawn 2. I forgot the name of it. Sorry. I'll remember it when they show it, but I did forget the name of this new one. But you know what? Hey, I knew this was coming. I just had a feeling there was going to be a sequel to this game after how big the first one was. And it would make no sense to make that a one-off, so I'm all for number 2. That's why I like just game. Like their first party studios are putting in work right now. Like that's the one thing I really can't say with Sony is that their first parties are doing some stuff.
I must find a way to stop it, or it will get worse and worse. Until it destroys us all. There's nothing I wouldn't do to save this world. No depth I won't explore. No secret I won't unlock. No barrier I won't cross. This mission is mine alone.
Breath of the Wild?
If I falter,
kind of look like that little cover there.
There won't be.
I didn't see that the mountain climbing really looked like that one teaser. Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon 2 Forbidden West. Okay, that's what it is. So it's not Zero Dawn 2, it's Forbidden West. So see, I got it right now. It's about to be war in this game.
I will be ready.
That's what I was saying when this event started. I'll be ready for a PS5.
On behalf of the entire team at Guerrilla, we're happy to share the first look at Horizon Forbidden West.
We're continuing Elga's story as she moves west to a far future America.
To brave a beautiful but dangerous frontier masked with mysterious new threats.
Get ready to explore distant lands ravaged by massive storms.
And take on new, powerful machines as you return
to the majestic world of Horizon.
Stay tuned for much more. We can't wait for you to get your hands on it.
All right, and we're coming up to the point where they're going to show off the actual system.
Designer and storyteller, this is incredibly exciting.
Jun
We're talking a whole new
Takuchi,
generation of ideas and experiences that we can
Yoshino
create for the player.
Kikase.
No matter where they are,
It's
no
off.
matter who they are.
new experiences like we've never had before.
More iconic, interesting characters.
Hey, some good studios here. Remedy.
We want to wow.
But speaking of Remedy, Control's getting a port on PS5. It was announced a few hours after the event.
Incredibly
so
exciting.
For those who didn't get to play Control, they're gonna have a chance on 5.
As a developer, that's an amazing feeling to have.
Which is me, because I didn't get a chance to play. There's too many games coming out, so I never got a chance to play it. So now I can just wait for 5, which is cool. I can play like an expanded port of it. And there's a system right there. It is a ball. It is a spherical ball. They went with the globe design that person made a few years ago. And all I will say is, and the reason why I'm wearing this shirt, like you're probably wondering, why is he wearing that shirt? All I will say is, let me pop my collar real quick. And if you already know what the system looks like, then you already know. X squared. Thought for a second when it showed like that little black like thing, I thought, like, is that the system? I'm like, better not be. It looks pretty it looked pretty weird that way. But then it zooms out. Let me get a look at it. Which honestly, I think it looks good. I actually do like it, which although it can easily be mean because see it's got that like popped like collar shirt thing. And it does look like a modem. Like that's the first thing I said. Is like it looks like a modem, and it looks like it's popping a collar. But honestly, I think it looks really sleek. I know some people aren't too thrilled with it. They're like, it looks really gaudy and all these other things. But I'm like, I'm all for it. But honestly, what they really should have done is they should have showed what the system looked like horizontal. Because honestly, it looks way better horizontal. It's a better design. PS5. It's like just sleek, just did that little light illuminating from at the top. Like it looks nice. The version I'm really waiting for is when they get that all black version. That's when I'm gonna be all in. And then there's this version too, but no, thank you. I'm sure that for those people who are out there, they're probably like, I'm like, yes. For me, however, I'm just like, I gotta go physical. I like physical media too much. And just the thought of trying to download all my games just sounds bad. Trying to download 100 gigs every week. Like new camera, new headphones that look good but will probably break after 4 months. Like, yeah, can I show this? Let me see if I can. Hold on.
We hope you've enjoyed the first glimpse of our future today.
These are my
striking console design yet. And
these are my PlayStation 4 headphones. Look how jacked they are. This is my second pair. I'm not even doing anything to them. They just break. They're so cheap. Like you don't get them. I'm hoping the 5s are good.
Enjoy the unique benefits of moving from one generation to the next. Thank you for joining us. We're launching later this year, and we have tons more to share. Welcome to PlayStation 5.
But can we go back a few generations? Can I go back to 1994? I want to play my PlayStation games on this system. And at that point, that's pretty much the event. They show off the PS5, and they have their little sizzle reel. But there's nothing else after that. So that is it's caught in my collar. Oh well. But that's pretty much the PlayStation 5 event. Honestly, really good. Like, I would give that a very high score. They came out and showed a lot of really, really promising games, a lot of sequels that people kind of expected but are always great to see. We got to see a bunch of new IPs, which looks great. We got to see some of the third-party stuff a little bit there, which also looks good. Like Resident Evil 8 looks fantastic. I'm excited for that one whenever it comes out. And a few others. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking off the top of my head for it, trying to remember back. Because honestly, they showed a lot. Like, this thing here, the 26 games across like the hour or so of it, which honestly pretty good. I was very, very much pleased with what they showed. Now there are a few questions I do have, because we still haven't seen all of the UI. We've only seen like the introductory kind of thing when you start the system. We don't have a price yet, and I feel the price is gonna be, they're waiting for Microsoft. That's what I feel right now. They're waiting to see what Microsoft is gonna say on the price for the Series X. But if they aren't, then this is my thought, and it's kind of changed throughout the day thinking about it. Before it started, I said $600. That was like what I thought the system was probably going to be. But once the announcement of the physical edition and the digital edition was announced, that's when I was like, okay, what they're going to do is they're going to make the digital version the cheaper version. So it's like, if you want a cheaper PS5, then you would go for the digital only. But if you want the CD drive and like the 4K Blu-ray player, that's going to be the more expensive one. That's going to be kind of like the premium system. And I feel that's going to be $100 more. So what I feel right now, here's my tentative kind of like not sure, but could be, is that it's the digital version is going to be between $500 maybe, possibly $500, and the physical is either going to be $550 or it's going to be $600. Now, at one point I had it where it was digital is $400, baseline $500, which it could be, but the thing that throws it off is that I've read some reports that the manufacturing cost of the 5 is about $400 or so. So they really would not be making that much money back and would be losing a lot so if they sold it at $400. So I feel like it has to be somewhere in $500 in that region. But we're going to definitely have that event. There's probably still some things about the PS5 that they're waiting to tell. Like, of course, price and release. Although for the release, I feel it's going to be November 20th this year. Just basing it off of the release window of the PS3 and 4. Because the 4 came out November 15th, 2013, and PS3 came out November 17th, 2006. So they always release it on a Friday, and it's always in November. So I feel it's going to be, it has to fall under that November 20th time. But we'll see when that day does come. The thing I did like with this presentation is that, and comparing it kind of to the PS4 launch and even PS3, is we really have a really strong launch lineup, but not even the lineup for the future. For the next few months after the 5 is out, there's going to be a lot of really good games coming out. And there's a lot of like that Spider-Man Miles is pretty much a launch title since it comes out holiday 2020. Like, there's going to be some strong hitters early on. I feel like it's not going to be the same like with PS4 where, hey, I love Knack, but it was Knack, Killzone, and I forgot, it took a bit. I think the next game I got was Infamous Second Son, which came out in like March. So it was kind of a big spacing, and it took a while for the PS5 to hit that stride where you were seeing like game. So it was kind of dead for a little bit, but I'd say around late 2014, 2015, they started to get that stride. And PS3, don't even talk about that launch. Genji, which it's a good game. I have Resistance Fall of Man and like some sports games, and like what other games came out like that few months after PS3 came out. Not a lot. It took PS3 a long time to come back. But it looks like with 5 they're fixing that, where we're seeing like a lot of games come out in between like these months, so it's not so sparse in games coming out. So right now I'm pretty content in PS5. I like what I'm seeing. I like a lot of the games they're showing. When you go to Microsoft's side, the thing that's going to be interesting to see, because Microsoft has their event next month where they're going to be talking about their first party games. Because the event they had last month, that was for the third parties, which was a pretty fine event, but this one was much better. But their event is going to be next month, and that's going to be the one that's really going to decide things, because I really want to see what they have for their first parties. Because the past few years, they've been kind of spending the time to build up a lot of studio acquisitions and buying a lot of studios out. So I really hope that with this time, they have some stuff to show. Because what really ruined the Xbox One is the same thing that hurt the Wii U in a lot of ways, is that you would see a big game come out, a big first-party game, and it would be spread out very, very long. So it would be a whole year, and you might only have 1 to 2 games. Compared to on the Sony side, you might have 5 to 6, and they're spread out pretty evenly. So 1 month you have this, then like the next like 2-3 months you have another one. End of the year you have one. And it was spaced out pretty well on PS4, but Xbox One, it really didn't have that spacing, and it still didn't. Like, I feel like even in the later years, there were some times where there might have only been one exclusive game a year, which isn't that great. So I'd like to hope Microsoft, at least in that way, can have something to show. And also what the price is going to be on that system too, because it's more powerful than the PS5. But if they don't have games to show, then I'm not sure. Although I am still buying an Xbox Series X at some point, just because they got backwards compatibility. And like I said earlier, like Sony, please, like you would be dumb not to have backwards compatibility. If Microsoft's system has it, you really bottleneck your system not having it. So, I don't know. We'll see this. There's definitely going to be another Sony event at some point, because there's still a lot of answers and a lot of things we need to know. And they're definitely not just going to announce the price just willy-nilly. They're going to wait for a time to show it. So whenever that point is, I will be there. And I'll be there with my popped collar, and it'll be pretty good. But yeah, that's going to do it for me here. Thank you very much for watching the rewatch. It was pretty fun rewatching that, because there's a lot of stuff I honestly missed, and getting to see it in actually good quality was really good. So until next time, I'm John, GWC, and I will see you later. I need to get a job.